Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. Bonjour. Bon dia. This is Mr. Booker. And today we have an awesome book we're going to read together. And my awesome friends, Leo the Sloth, Olivia the Owl, Calvin the Cow, and Giz the Hedgehog picked out a book for you today to read. So before we get to this awesome book today, we gotta wash our hands, and wipe away the germs, So what I need for you all to do right now is put your electronic device on pause, or bring it along with you to the sink, grab some soap. Mr. Booker's gonna lean over here to his right-hand side, put a little bit of sanitizer in his hands, and we are going to wash our hands together while we sing ABCs. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? So the book we are going to read today is Ada Twist, Scientist by Andrea Beaty, and the pictures and illustrations are by David Roberts. I'm really excited about this book today because remember, reading helps us grow. Reading helps us grow. So I'm so excited about getting to this book. I need you to come along with me on this journey. Here we go. Ada Marie said not a word to the day she turned 3. She bounced in her crib and looked all around, observing the world but not making a sound. She learned how to climb and make her big break with a trail of chaos left in her wake. She ran through the day chasing each sound and sight and didn't slow down till she conked out a night. Her parents were frazzled but tried not to freak as Ada grew bigger and still did not speak. Clearly, young Ada, with lots in her head, would have something to say when it ought to be said. Awesome. That's just what happened when Ada turned 3. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree and climbed up the clock just as high as she could. Her parents yelled, "Stop!" Ada's chin quivered, but she did not cry. She took a deep breath and she simply asked, "Why? Why? Why does it tick and why does it tock? Why don't we call it a granddaughter clock? Why are we there pointy things stuck to a rose? Why are there hairs up inside of your nose?" She started with why, and then what, how, and when. By bedtime, she came back to why once again. She drifted to sleep as her dazed parents smiled at the curious thoughts of their curious child who wanted to know what the world was about. They kissed her and whispered, "You have figured it out." Why? What? How? When? Why? Her parents kept up with their high-flying kid, whose questions and chaos both grew as she did. Even Mrs. Greer found her parents were quite full when young Ada's chaos wreaked havoc at school. But this much was clear about Mrs. Ada Twist. She had all the traits of a great scientist. Ada was busy that first day of spring, testing the sounds that make mockingbirds sing, when a horrible stench whacked her right in the nose, a pungent aroma that curled up her toes. Zoe, said Ada, which got in her to thinking. What is the source of that terrible stinking? How does a nose know there's something to smell? And does it still stink if there's no nose to tell? She rattled off questions and tapped on her chin. She start at the start where she ought to begin. A mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, a quest. This was the moment that Ada loved the best. Ada did research to learn all she could of smelling and smells, both the stinky and good. One hypothesis Ada thought could be true. The terrible stink came from Dad's cabbage stew. Ugh. She tested and tested, but soon Ada knew it was time to come up with a hypothesis too. Then Zoe, the stinky, struck again. Just like that. Hypothesis 2. It caused by the cat. The cat couldn't make such a stink on its own. It needed perfume and some fancy cologne. So young Ada tested. The test was a flop. She started again, but her parents yelled, "Stop!" Ada Marie, to the thinking chair. Now, by the time we count 3, enough, said her mother. That's it, said her dad. Her parents were frustrated, frazzled, and mad. Why? Ada questioned. Her mother said, no. What? Ada queered. Her father said, go. You ruined our supper. You made the cat stink. With your questions. Now sit there and think. She looked at her parents. Her heart turned to goo. Poor Ada Twist didn't know what to do. She sat alone by herself in the hall, and Ada once more could say nothing at all. And so Ada sat, and she sat, and she sat. She thought about science and stew and the cat, and how our experiments made such a big mess. Does it have to be so? Is that part of success? Are messes a problem? And while she was thinking, what was the source of the terrible stinking? Ada Marie did what scientists do. She asked a small question, and then she asked 2. And each of those led her to 3 questions more. And some of those questions resulted in 4. As Ada got thinking, she really dug in. She scribbled her questions and tapped on her chin. She started at why, and then what, how, and when. At the end of the hall, she reached why once again. Her parents calmed down, and they came back to talk. They looked at the hallway and just had to gawk. No patch of beer paint could be seen on the wall. The thinking chair now was the great thinking hall. They watched their young daughter and sighed as they did. What would they do with this curious kid? Who wanted to know what the world was about? They smiled and whispered, we'll figure it out. And that's what they did, because that's what you do when your kid has a passion and a heart that is true. They remade their world. Now they're all in the act of helping young Ada sort fiction from fact. She has lots of questions. How could she resist? It's all in the heart. of a young scientist. And for that smell, what can Ada Twist do but learn all she can with her friends in grade 2? Will they discover the stink that curl trolls? Well, that is the question. And someday, who knows? Ada Twist, scientist. Remember, you could be anything you want to be. Just always ask questions. Very important. That's something that I want to know. I want to thank my friends for sharing this book today. The importance of asking questions. Just like Ada Twist did. She asked questions. She was trying to figure out, about different things going on around her. So always ask questions. Ask your parents, ask your teachers. Ask questions as to why, what, when, where, how. So you can continue to grow and also figure out things that are going on around you. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope that you have an awesome day, and I look forward to reading with you tomorrow. Bye.